It's the undisputed theory of everything. A tapestry of truth threaded through the entirety of history. The mystery of humanity raveled intricately into the fabric of a 5-letter word, a 5-word sentence, a 5-minute composition bearing witness to the theory of grace. G.R.A.C.E. God's radical artistry created everything. In the beginning, he spoke into the darkest abyss, and the power of his eloquence caused light to spark and life to exist out of nothing more than his magnanimous imagination. After 5 indelible days, a creative binge, the likes of which has never been duplicated, culminated when he crafted a creature out of his very own identity, carbon copied his imagery, molded an effigy, a facsimile, clothed it in human anatomy, and gave us everything we could ever need. You wouldn't be wrong to call it paradise, but back then it was just life. And though we were created to become just like him, we just wanted to become him in all of his knowledge and wisdom. So we embraced sin, like a long-lost frenemy who showed up out of the blue bearing a gift in the form of a fruit, and as soon as we tasted it, we knew that we were through. Done in by the devil's indiscretion and deceit. Don't do it. No fruit is sweet enough to sell your birthright to it, to punt away the purpose you were put upon the earth, but they blew it. Ate the fruit anyway. A decision that deemed us all slaves, demanding a curse on our lives. The only thing that could reverse our demise is grace. G.R.A.C.E. God's redeeming atonement covers everyone. And what's done is done. His only son, heckled and hammered to a tree where he hung from 9 till 3 when the asphyxiation finally abated his ability to breathe. This is not religious intrigue. This is documented history. The Son of God willingly let his enemies pierce nails in his extremities and let the blood flow through centuries right into the reality of this very time and space. This is the theology of grace. How Jesus volunteered himself as tribute and stood in our place, stared death in the face and faced it for our sake while we were still stuffing our face with spoiled fruit. And we still do. But that's the beauty of grace. It sees all of our disqualifications and writes the letter of recommendation anyway. He who is full of truth is also full of grace. The price for our sin has been fully paid, and there were no discounts at the cross that day, not a word from his mouth as his body was slain. What a bloody mess it took to cleanse our stain. And as the hemoglobin streamed, the veil was torn at its seams, a dramatic curtain call to believe that you have been redeemed. And it's not like using a coupon to get something for free. He paid with his life and then shredded the receipt. Why would he keep it? He wants you for good. No exchanges, no returns. He wants you for good. Works that he's prepared in advance that you should walk in them, not to earn his love, but to walk in it. He threw down the gauntlet in the midst of the grave, rolled the skeptic stone away, and emerged in flesh and bone and grace. G.R.A.C.E. God rose and clinched eternity. The bodily resurrection of a dead man. The pinnacle of God's plan to dig every one of us out of our graves. He is the way, he is the door, the gate, the lockpick, the password. Come in and find pasture, a world away from our transgressions, as far from them as east is from west. For all of our questions, his answer is yes. You too. You too were entombed, but in Christ you too are exhumed and exonerated. That's just a fancy way of saying that you have found the Father's favor in the free and unadulterated gift of grace. G.R.A.C.E. God's radical artistry created everything out of grace. God's redeeming atonement covers everyone in his grace. God rose and clinched eternity by his grace. G.R.A.C.E. Grace.